We are Thursday afternoon. It's about 3:30, I think. So the floor guy just left, and I just talked to my contractor to find out where we are. And I don't even know if I can articulate how I feel about how things are looking right now. So this is the floor. It's kind of hard on the iPhone, it's not very good, and this is the backsplashes. So I would say with everything that we've done so far with the floors, I think the closest I got to being happy with the floors and the backsplashes and everything was maybe 40%. I was just being okay with whatever I ended up with, right? Like I had just given up on having it be what I wanted. I just said, just get me done. But then we had to start from scratch. And I said, well, if we're gonna start from scratch, we're gonna get it right. So yesterday he did the counters and the backsplashes, and he used different amounts of tint and to kind of give me like different effects. And he said, once I sand, I can bring everything down. He says, I can bring the color down. I can't bring it back up. So he says, these are really, really dark. This is really dark. Counters aren't quite as dark. And so he gave me kind of like different. And then he says, once everything dries, he says, like, tomorrow we can talk about the floor. How do you want the floor to look? And I went in this morning, and the counter, like a little bit over here, was spot on, 100% what I wanted in terms of color. It was this dark gray, a whole bunch of dark grays, like a stormy sky. It just absolutely, just blew my breath. Like, I just could not believe that we finally got to where I really wanted to be, that it wasn't a compromise, that it was exactly what I wanted. And he says that these look really, really dark, but he says you can see the lighter color in them. And once he does the final pass, he's gonna be able to get rid of a lot of that tint, and we're gonna get very close, and it's gonna be more gray than black like it is right now. So when he did the floor today, and it looks really dark, but this is very wet, it hasn't dried yet. He modeled himself off the counter, and he didn't use nearly as much tint. So we never got to the black with the floor. So this needs another polish, and then like another hand, like with the sanding, get it all even. And he's gonna apply like a top coat to finish. I am just, like a lot of good tears today. Like I'm just, because I'm gonna do like a parenthetical. I went to the dentist today and I got my my tooth fixed. I've had a problem with the tooth. I talk about it on the blog, so I'm not gonna waste this video talking about it, but I got this tooth fixed, and I'm just so happy that it's fixed and it looks great, and I'm somewhere that I can afford to get it done right. And then I come home, and then they finally get my kitchen right. I'm just like, thank you. So anyway, and then I was just starting this video when the phone rang, and it was Alejandro, and he says that we need to give it a good 3 days before we can start bringing furniture in. So he says we're not gonna finish till Monday, but he says he wants to be here early tomorrow morning, and he wants to get my sink in. So I might have my sink for the weekend. I want to start doing washing dishes and stuff. So it's very, very exciting. Things are happening. We still got a lot of paint to do and other things. We're not there yet, but I think once we get the paint done, that's like we got some bit more polishing to do and put down the top coat, and we've got to do the paint. And then we got to paint the doors and the door frames and all that. So I got to go through my list with him. Like I think he keeps thinking that he's got like a half a day left, and I'm like, no. So, but I think Monday we'll be able to start really going in and installing things and whatnot. So I think, what I'll do tomorrow, because he'll be in while I'm doing this, while I'm at Pilates, I'm going to leave him a note reminding him of everything that needs to be done. Just so he can plan the schedule. And at this point, it's going to take the time that it takes. I would rather that we get it done right, that we don't rush, because if we bring the furniture in and the floor is not dry, it's going to just muck it up. And it's like, why go through all of this to kind of give up at the end, right? So, so I don't know, like, I don't know, like other people, if they would like this floor or not. Because I know I was asked a lot in the last couple of days, like, how's it going? Are you okay? It's very dark. And this is exactly, like the floor looks exactly like right now. I mean, it's gonna dry and it's gonna look like over there, and it's not gonna look quite as good tomorrow morning. I know that, but I also know once we polish. So it feels so good to just have people that are doing it and they're doing a good job about it. And then I got an interesting text message this morning from the guy that I had texted, that I was looking for Javier's workshop, and I thought that he had gotten the message and then contacted Javier, and then Javier sent me photos. Well, the guy messaged me this morning and he said, oh, I only just got your message. I think my son had, has my phone sometimes and he might have just read it and then I didn't notice because it was already read on my phone. I didn't have like a little bubble anymore. And he says, I've been looking for Javier. He's moved his workshop at least once because he says, Javier owed me a lot of money for work and I went to the workshop and the workshop's not there anymore. Ooh, that's not sketchy at all, is it? So I'm still thinking I'm gonna get my cabinetry, but when am I gonna get the cabinetry? Who knows? I'm not planning. I am definitely planning on moving in without the cabinetry. And I'm just I gotta do some measurements, but I think I can get my microwave onto this thing and that'll be high enough. It should be high enough that I can use, even if I can't use the high up outlet for the microwave, I can at least use one of these bottom ones and at least I won't feel like I'm regressing. The microwave's going back underneath there. It's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be at a good height. And then I've got a bookshelf. So I'm just gonna measure if I can put that unit plus 2 bookshelves or just 1 bookshelf, but it'll be enough that I can get the bulk of the stuff back in. And then I might just have to keep stuff organized in the guest room for now. Or I might, what I was thinking of doing was I wanted to kind of re-get the guest room back and then resettle Alma, like put her litter box in a different spot and really get her like settled to her permanent spots, and then reclaim that other bedroom for myself. Is kind of what I wanted. I thought the guest room, she's not gonna hurt anything. She's not a cat that's like peeing everywhere. She's using her scratch. I bought her another scratching post and she's using them. So I'm thinking the guest room, she would love to be there during the day. It's got a comfortable bed with a sheet on top that she can lie on. And I think she's gonna love climbing up the shelves in there. So I would rather her have access to that room and then reclaim the other room for myself. And it's just gonna start to feel, even if I have to do storage in the other room, it'll just be closer to my routine. I'm just really, I can't wait to get stuff out of the dining room and out of the living room and out of every room. It's gonna be so. The countdown is on. It's finally gonna happen. So anyway, so here we are. Yellow, gray, purple, using the turquoise. It's gonna happen. Can you imagine once we get these fans out also? And I gotta mention that there's seeing a spot. And the guy today, he said, what do you do for a living? So I explained to him what I do for a living as best as I can. I've really got to work on that in Spanish and get the right words and get the right way to explain it. Even when I use the right words, people don't understand. Even when I just say like I'm an editor and a proofreader and I don't even go into the whole court reporting thing, people have a hard time. But when he found out that I get paid to look for mistakes for a living, he went, oh, he said, that's why you got the eye for detail. Yeah. But I'm getting on like a house on fire with Alejandro and his brother. We never talked about names and Alejandro hasn't given me his name, so I'm really bad for that. But we've been getting along really well. Happy client makes for an easy work day and, providing snacks and drinks and stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna go back to work and just let this dry and maybe go hang out with my cat for a little bit. She's been running around. But yeah, finally, things are moving. Let's not just talk about my bank account balance though, okay?